So you want to build the Daemon Targaryen armor. Let's get started. Let me give you guys a close-up of this bad boy. You can see the wings a little bit messed up, but this thing is just, it's gorgeous. So let's jump right into it. I like to keep my videos fast-paced and to the point to help you guys out. If you guys want this file, it's available at nicoindustries.com, who's also the sponsor of this video. If you guys actually want to do the full armor, like the full body armor, it's available at Nico Industries. In a cosplay, or you want to sit down and get ready for season 2 of House of Dragons, which God knows how long that's going to take to come out. But I'm sure by the time you finish the project, you'll be more than ready. That comes out on HBO. Start off, this thing prints in a lot of pieces. My printing bed is an Ender 3 V2 Neo, so I have a very small, limited print space. I did not upscale or downscale. I kept it at 100%. And you need to be aware, just as like with printing any other types of helmets or props, are the orientation of your prints. This helmet, since it was so many pieces, and a lot of the pieces are rounded, I had to pay really close attention to my supports on the print bed. Ideally, you want all of your supports on the inside of the helmet, so it's a lot easier on the finishing and prep. You're not having to sand down a bunch of rough places. Keep that in mind. And just like I said before, it's the roundness. A lot of awkward prints. The first part I printed was the dome piece where the dragon's face is, and that came out really bad. But that was because nozzle failed, getting blocks on it during that print. I didn't want to spend more hours printing out another part, so I just spot puttied that, and it actually came out way better than I thought. Pay close attention to the orientation of your prints, and when you have the detailed areas like the dragon or the wings, you could see on the left side of the helmet, the left wing failed during the print, but I PLA welded it and I fixed it. I mean, it's just going to be a display piece, so it's not that vital for me. Prints out in a bunch of pieces, and how I put everything together was through PLA welding. Just weld those suckers together and you're good to go. Since it comes in so many parts, it allows you to actually operate in a cool time frame. So while one part is printing, taking its precious time, you could be sanding down, priming and prepping the parts that are already printed out. And then when it's all finished, you could PLA weld everything together and then go to town on your finishing paint. Start off with the sandpaper 80 to get the rough stuff down. Then I go to 120 to a 220, and then I finish it with a 350. Actually PLA welded everything together, put the finishing paint on there. So I primed all the pieces individually, and then I PLA welded a lot of stuff together. That way I could get in, because if you notice on the back of the helmet, it's layered. You want everything to look uniform as much as you can with the primer and the sanding and everything like that. And it is a very awkward helmet. You don't really want to put everything together and then start your sanding, your priming, and then sanding. So do all of your priming, do all of your sanding, and then right before you go on to put on your finishing paint, you need to weld everything together. Majority of the helmet I had to cover with spot putty, cover a lot of the PLA welding since I had to print it in so many pieces. The spot putty comes in awesome handy for you. After I do the primer and that down, put everything together, now it was time for the finishing paint. And I went into this because I had already experimented on my Mandalorian helmet a while ago by using matte clear coat. So I put on the Krylon Gloss Black. I sprayed the whole helmet down. I did 3 coats of that. Sprayed 3 coats of the matte clear coat. So it's not gloss because we don't want it shiny. When I experimented with the Mandalorian helmet, I did the matte and gloss clear coat, and the matte clear coat really, I think that is like the main proponent of getting that armor style look and dimming the gloss and shininess of paint down. I did the matte clear coat, I did the gloss black, and then after everything was completely done, I went in there and then I used the graphite powder, the same graphite powder I used on the Mandalorian helmet. And when I started rubbing that on, this helmet absolutely came to life. It was awesome. Extremely happy about how this turned out. It was the most pieces I've ever printed for a project. It was the most PLA welding I've ever done, and it was the most detailed project I've done to this date. So it's a good learning curve for me with building projects and learning how to prep and finish work. I'm just extremely happy how it turned out. Now, some other things I kind of wish I would have did. When I look at it now, I wish I would have made the wings magnetic. That probably would have helped out a lot. And then also with like, if you are wearing it, you actually watch this show, the screen accuracy of it, the face plates that are right here, I brought them out a little bit because I was worried about putting the helmet on and off. And as far as screen accuracy goes, they are up against his cheeks. So with that being said, I think you could make those magnetic if you wanted to, being able to put on the helmet and then magnet those up, or maybe have some elastic there where it's a little bit loose and you can move around in it. This is if you are wearing it to like for cosplay or Halloween or something like that and you just don't want it to be that fragile with the welding on there. You want it to be more screen accurate. So I would incorporate maybe some more magnets in there to bring it down more, like for traveling or storing it or something like that, because it does take up a lot of space. I just have it sitting on a tripod right now. I'm gonna end up hanging it on the wall later. There's some options that you could do. I think that would be beneficial if you are attempting this. It was a great project. I am extremely proud of it. And then I have 2 other projects coming up in the works right now. Since I just uploaded the Sub-Zero video, I am working on a scorpion mask. It's a different version of it. I think it's from the movie. I gotta relook at it. A different style of sanding on there with wire brushes. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that with wire brushes. Also working on a Grogu Lorian helmet. That's going to be pretty fun because I've never worked with as far as like green painting schematics. So I'm going to have to figure out what color green to do on that helmet. As this video is sponsored by Nico Industries, all these files are from Nico Industries. So if you want some awesome files, you pay for the file, it immediately gets sent to your email, you download it, and you could be printing stuff out within 5 minutes of you searching for things that you want to print out. Thank you to Nico Industries, and I hope you guys pick something up. It helps support the channel. YouTube things, punch, kick, scream, whatever they're doing, you guys do it. I'll catch you later.